What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Yolopark AMK Pro Series Megatron. So this was sent to me by Dr. Diecast. Thanks for allowing me to take a look at this. Plus we're going to take a look at the Optimus soon. And this was actually built by Dr. Diecast before he sent it to me, so I'm not going to have a build video here. But we are going to take a look at this figure. If you're a member, you got to take a look at the unboxing as well, so you could see how it was packaged. But let's take a look at this figure. You got some pretty nice paint. It's got this silver with kind of a rusty wash. There's a little bit of this like rust colored paint here and there. And then you have this silver wash, or I guess dry brush, must be dry brush, kind of all throughout, which makes it look like he's worn. You know, he's been battle damaged or worn. So it's got some really nice paint. If you're not familiar with Yolopark, we did look at the AMK Optimus, and I believe we looked at the mini series. I wasn't a big fan of the mini series, but I really liked their bigger series. And now this is the first Pro series figure, and I just gave away one of the gimmicks, but it does have a light up gun. Might as well show you since I just clicked accidentally. There's a button right here, and it does light up, so you can get the light up fusion cannon. That looks really nice. The eyes are also a light up feature, and they're a little bit dead when they're not lit up. Honestly, I wish they had painted eyes. We know they can do it, but if you bring a magnet in, you can turn those eyes on, and that looks really good once it's lit up. I just wish there was a face that had painted red eyes, so you didn't have to necessarily have the eyes turned on. If you press it one more time, you'll get flashing. One more time, and you'll get the pulsing in and out. And that does look pretty good. I'll turn that off so it don't kill the batteries. We also have alternate faces. So if you lift up and forward on the face, you can just pull it off. It's just two tabs there. We have kind of a grimacing or like slight frown face. It's very close. It's very similar to these two faces. This one is kind of a more frowny, but you have that. And then I think they have the face which most people will probably use or enjoy is this laughing face. You know, that's kind of what I think of when I think of Megatron, but that's a really nice looking face sculpt. They did paint the inside of the mouth, so that looks really good. But like I mentioned, I think the eye should have been painted red, but if you want, you can just turn the lights on, and that looks really good. Let's go over his articulation. The head is on a ball joint, so it gets up to there, down to there, rotates side to side, and rotates all the way around. It is a good looking head sculpt. Shoulders right around on, is there a ball joint? I think it's just a hinge. And then they go out on a butterfly joint, up to there. You have rotation at the bicep. It is on a peg. It does sometimes pull itself off, so you just got to push it back up. But yeah, rotation here at the bicep. Single jointed elbow, but due to the design, you get well past 90 degrees, almost a full bend out of that elbow. So that's really nicely designed. The gun can be detached from here. You do open up this little compartment. That's where you put the batteries in. And it says it right on it, AG1s. So I did put AG1s in there, and that lights up. You can swap it if you prefer it on this side. Obviously, I'm going to put it on the cartoon accurate side, but you can swap it to here if you want. For the hands, you have a rotation at the wrist. Again, these are plugged in, so if they're not plugged in all the way, it'll stick out, so just make sure you push it in all the way. The fingers are on 2 pins. The bottom 3 are connected together. I don't know why. They could have just made those separate, but pointer finger can point, and then the thumb is on a single pin, so it goes in and out. I think it needed a ball joint, to be honest, but they are good looking hands. If you have them open, actually, I think it looks better than if they're fisted, just because the fist is a little awkward. But continuing down, you have a waist rotation here. You have ab crunch at the center. It goes all the way up to there. There's an ab crunch on this joint too, so you get about that much on the bottom one, and then the top one goes all the way back to there and forward to there. So you get, between the two, quite a bit of crunch. and you can combine them together. So really nice paint detail here on the chest, which you'd expect, or the abdomen. That looks really good. Hip skirts will move out of the way on the front and the sides. Allow you to get the kick up to there. It does seem a little silly that the hip skirt won't go all the way up, so your leg is limited to that much. Back to here, again, unnecessarily hindered by its own sculpt. So back to there. Out to the side. That's all on friction, by the way. No ratchets on this guy. Rotation at the thigh on a pin, on a peg. And again, if you're not careful, it can come unplugged. So just push that up if it comes unplugged. You have a double jointed knee, gets you the full bend on 2 hinges. The feet are on a ball joint. No, it's a hinge. So there's a hinge there, and there's a ball joint that lets you go forward and backward, side to side, and then you get a toe tilt, and you can rotate the foot as well. So you get all the movement out of that foot. As far as the accessories, we mentioned the alternate faces. You get 2 of those. We also get his Energon sword here, done in this translucent pink and purple. That'll just fit into his hand. It doesn't actually like tab it or anything, but he can hold it really nicely because those hands close down pretty well. He also gets this blaster just done in a gray paint and sculpted nicely. And again, it doesn't have a tab or anything. It just kind of fits in his hand. And you can get, I think you can get the pointer finger in front of the trigger. Yeah. There you go. You can hold that gun. You also get an alternate chest plate. This one is battle damage, of course, with all that detail. It is actually, it's got a black wash on it. It's really nicely done. This will just pull forward. This one is actually die cast, whereas this one, replacement, is plastic. I kind of understand why they did it, but this is a nice heavy die cast. And you can put that on there and give that battle damage look if you prefer. We also get the key to Vector Sigma. This is also a nice heavy die cast. You can hear that. Done in this gold paint with a black wash. You can hold this if you want. And you can be taking or using the key. And last but not least, we get his axe, done in this translucent, or mace, I'm sorry, done in this translucent purple. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 articulation points, and then the ball can rotate here at the peg. In order to use this, you do have to unpeg the hand, and it's a tight fit, but you can get that off. And then you can plug this in. And I would be careful with this. I'm not sure if this is built to last, especially this translucent plastic. I would recommend caution. This one I'm not worried about. This one definitely would be careful, but he has really nice effect with that. And then last but not least, we have and this is what I was talking about, the hand. You really got to push it in there to get it tabbed in. Oh, and I forgot about this joint here. There's an in and out movement on the wrist. So you get a little bit of extra movement there. All right, we do get this accessory here, this stand. So this actually plugs in down here. So it looks like this, and it's actually 3-piece, 1, 2, 3. Comes like this, and you're just gonna plug this top part into here, and it is a snug fit. And then this into here. And then on the bottom right here, you're going to tab this Decepticon symbol, which is painted purple. That looks pretty nice. That's just going to peg in right there. And then that'll go there, and then now you can use this to hold him. It says something about this little square right here. I'm not really sure what they meant by that, because I don't see how that's going to hold him up. Like, there's nothing to put it on. So I just end up putting it around his waist. I'm sure I'm doing it wrong, but somebody in the comments will correct me. But there you go. And now you can get into some more dynamic poses. And we'll get rid of the sword here. And for some quick size comparisons, there it is next to the Takara Tomy Masterpiece Megatron, the 3-0 Animation Edition Megatron, and then the Blockies Chase Figure Megatron. And it's a pretty good looking version of Megatron, but something about the proportions, maybe it's in the legs, I can't really tell, maybe the feet are too big, but something in the proportions is just off for me personally. But either way, it does look nice as a G1 style version of Megatron. It is its own scale, doesn't really fit with anything per se. So if you're getting these, just collect them to be displayed with other Yolopark AMK series. So final recommendations on the Yolopark AMK Pro Series Megatron. I think it's pretty good. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. I'm going to recommend it. It's a fun little action figure if you like this kind of thing, especially if you're like the simple build model kits and you're just like posing and messing with action figures. I think it's pretty fun. It doesn't transform, obviously, so if that's your thing, I don't think this is going to be the right thing for you. But it's got plenty of accessories, really nice paint detail all throughout. The lighting features are cool, although I do wish they painted the eyes instead of just made it translucent because it looks a little dead without it turned on. But other than that, I think it's a pretty good figure. Now, me personally, I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something about it I just wouldn't. I'm not interested in collecting these. Even the Optimus, the Megatron, is just not for me. It looks cool, but maybe it's the scale, maybe the fact that it doesn't fit with anything else, but it just, for whatever reason, I just don't have an interest. But I think if you like model kits or you just like Megatron and you like a little action figure version of him, I think you'll really enjoy this figure. So that's it for today. Thanks to Dr. Diecast for sending this review. Stay tuned for the Optimus AMK Pro, and we'll see you next time.